As Simon says, my name's Sophie. I'm from MPI. I work in the GIA team, so that's Government Industry Agreements team. And I'm just here to give you a quick overview around what we do in the team and how we actually work with industry. So as you may know, here's a brief history of where the GIA deed came from and how it's been formed. So we have the Biosecurity Act, 1993. So as part of the Act, when it was renewed in 2012, Section 5A was introduced, and that provided a framework that enabled government and industries to work together in partnership and collaborating together to achieve the best possible outcomes in terms of readiness and response activities. As part of this, the GIA deed was formed, and both MPI and KVH, from a Kiwifruit perspective, were the first signatories of the deed. And since then, both MPI and KVH have been collaborating together and have basically become the champions for partnership and collaborating in regards to response and readiness activities. Here's a quick overview of the deed itself. So the objective of the deed is to, as I say, enable partners to work collaboratively, to prepare for and effectively respond to biosecurity risks and threats. We've also got a couple of items here which is in regards to the purpose of the deed and also the principles. And for me, one of the main principles of the deed is all around partnership and really focusing on the partnership approach. So that's the MPI and also industry itself. So as at beginning of this month, we have 22 partners, and that's covering 23 sectors. The most recent signatory was aquaculture, and they signed about, I think it was about 7 days ago. So we've actually got a really broad representation across primary industries. That represents about 85% of primary industries. So within our operational agreements with KVH, we have a couple of key components that the operational agreement covers. So we identify and confirm the sector risk organisms, or SROs, and they're the main threats. So they're some of the four that Erin touched on before. We also define the cost share framework and also what processes we're going to use going forwards. And again, obviously, we do this in a collaborative partnership approach. So here are the four different SROs that, again, Erin referred to before. And these are outlined on KVH's most unwanted organism list. Across the GIA team and within MPI, we've also got a number of multi-sector OAs. So we've got 3 different multi-sector OAs at the moment, so that's going across various different industry partners. We've got the Queensland fruit fly, we've got the BMSB, and also M. bovis, and they're all currently active at the moment. On top of that, we've got 7 single-sector operational agreements. One of the key components of the GIA team and how we work and work with industry is all around partnership. And in order to develop a really robust partnership and agreement going forwards, we want to identify biosecurity risks and threats early. And so that enables us to then actively identify what are we going to do to try and prevent any incursions from happening. So one of the other main components around being a partner is having that joint decision-making ability as well. So it's a real voice at the table when it comes to defining what any readiness or response activities are going to be. As I referred to before, we also clearly define and agree what the cost-sharing frameworks are going to be. And also, if a response is actually activated, then obviously our partners, they have that opportunity to be actively involved throughout the whole of the response. So when we're talking about the GIA and partnership, we really want to be developing and delivering biosecurity readiness and response through partnership. One of the best things about working with KVH and given that they were co-signees in 2014, is that we've really been able to lead and champion the way forwards. So some of the achievements to date, so we've got our Sector OA for readiness and response for the kiwifruit and kiwiberry sectors. We've got our readiness and response plan for Ceratocystis fimbriata, which we're going to be discussing this afternoon in our workshop. And we've also got some draft readiness and response plans which are currently undergoing review at the moment with our experts. So the main kind of take home for me and for hopefully for you guys is all around continuing to effectively collaborate and partner together to ensure that we are as prepared as possible for any biosecurity threat or risk, which would then impact New Zealand's environment, community, or even the primary sectors. Thank you very much.